Akhandamandalakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Hari Om. Om Namo Bhagavate Ramakrishnaya. I am thankful to Swami Vimokshanandaji, the Adhyaksha of the Ramakrishna Mutt and Mission, Mangaluru Ashram, for giving me an opportunity to share some of my thoughts with all of you. Many people who are practicing spiritual sadhana, they ask sometimes repeatedly one particular question. What is that question? The question is, does God take care of us? This question, for the saints, it will appear a very silly question. But then, for the common people, it is a very realistic question. Why I am telling you? Because people find their life not entirely going smoothly. There are difficulties in their life. There are obstructions to their aspirations. They cannot reach their goals in time. There are so many types of troubles, either physical diseases or mental depressions, etc. So, with so much of difficulties in leading a normal life that an ordinary man finds, he loses slowly a hope in the God. Though our ancient time, our rishis, and modern time, the saints, all have repeatedly given us the assurance that God takes care of us. Even though we have been hearing these words, but yet sometimes the doubt comes into our mind that whether does God take care of us. So, if you think that God does not take care of you, and you think that what I should do, that God should take care of me, then there is an answer for that. But before going into that, I must say, when you expect God should take care of you, will not God also expect that you do some particular sadhana so that He can take care of you? Is that expectation from God? Is it not proper? As you have expectations, God also has got expectations. So God says, what He says? He says that if you can remember me all the time, constantly, then I will take care of you. This is something, a very wonderful statement. You can see that how God speaks in the Gita that whoever Ananyas Chintayanto Mam, whoever does think of me, Ananya, that is Ananya means that no other distraction. Without any distraction, whoever Chintayantaha, whoever thinking of me, that person's, he says, I will take care of him. In what way? In two ways. He says, Yoga Kshemam Vahamyaham. Yoga and Kshema are the two principles here. So Lord says in the Bhagavad Gita that Yoga Kshemam Vahami Aham. Aham Vahami. What Vahami? I carry the burden. What is the burden? The burden of yoga and Kshema. Yoga means to reach you what you have not got. Kshema means to protect whatever you have got. So in two aspects, God loves to take care of us. But we never believe that. We read the Gita, we think that the Lord has told this, okay, but this question of doubt, this comes in even great devotees' minds. For instance, you'll find a very good story told in Odisha that one Pandit was there. The Pandit was a poor Brahmin, and he was invited by some people in the village to their houses for doing some puja. Then they would give him some money or some rice, some dal, some sugar, some tea, like that they would give him. And with that he was running his family. He has his wife and 2 children. Now, because he is a poor man, he could not satisfy all the wants of the family. So some days no puja was there, nobody invited him for their house puja. In that case, he had to starve. Now this type of starving happening many days, so his wife got angry. She asked him, what type of father you are? Our 2 children are unable to eat, you are not able to provide them food properly, and what is the use of being married to you? And I am staying here with you all these years. Like that she started murmuring and lamenting, and she started even abusive words also. Now this Pandit was so sad. He thought that Lord has promised me that if you think of me all the time, I will take care of you. Where does he take care of me? He is rather making me go without any food. And also my children are starving, my wife is starving. What is this? Then he was very sad on the day. Last 2-3 days, he didn't get any job of puja. So what he did was, he went to the riverside. There's a big banyan tree. He sat under that and took the red pencil that he used to keep, between the ear and the head portion, back portion. So one red pencil he used to keep. Because he was a Pandit, many times he had to write. So they generally Pandits write with the red ink. So he had put that red pencil here. And then he took the Bhagavad Gita book, opened the chapter, and he saw this sloka that Ananyasity mam ye janaha pariyupasate tesham eva abhyuktanam yogatshemam vahamyaham. Like that he says. So he thought that yogatshemam vahamyaham, this promise of Lord, is actually a lie. It is not truth. So he took the red ink and struck it off. That yogatshemam vahamyaham, struck it off. And you'll be surprised that after that he slept away. Because cool breeze was there through the waters, the breeze was coming. In a hot day, a cool breeze under the shadow of the tree, he just slept away. When he got up, it was already about 4 o'clock. And then he immediately took his book and the pen and then started walking very fast towards his house. Outside the house, there was a surprise waiting for him. What was that? His wife was wearing new clothes and she was standing with the 2 children. The moment she saw him from a distance, she started calling him, "Come Panditji, Panditji, come, quickly come." Like that she said. So he even hastened to her, and then he found there that, "Come, like that she said." And there, inside the house, he saw all the 4 plates have been put, all the items of very delicious items of food has been served. So she asked him to sit there, and the whole family took the food very nicely. While eating, the Panditji has been thinking, how did this food come up here? And who sent this food to our house? Because I didn't have any money, I have not purchased any. So from where did she get it? So after finishing the food, he asked his wife, "Can you tell me, dear, who sent this?" She got upset. She said, "Why are you making a drama? It was you who sent all these things." He was surprised. "Did I send you?" "Yes. 2 boys came by 11 o'clock or so and brought all the items and asked me to cook and then feed you. And they brought so many items, rice, dal, oil, so many items they brought. And in 2 baskets they brought, full of baskets. And nice clothes also were there. You see, I am putting a new cloth and the children also wearing new clothes. And for you also, there is a set of clothes." He was surprised. The Panditji asked, 2 boys Yes, two boys came and they handed over these two baskets of items for us. And they said, Panditji has sent this to your house. Then Panditji thought of, what is she speaking? Is she okay or is she in a dream world? Because I did not send anybody. I went to that riverside and slept away under the tree. How can she say that I have sent it? Then he asked, how did you see these two boys? Can you just explain to me? Describe their features. Then she started thinking, said, yes, now I remember, two boys came. One boy was little dark color. Another boy was very fair color. Both seemed to be brothers. They came with their big basket on their head. So the elder boy, who was fair complexion, he took the basket on his own and he put it on the floor. But the younger boy, who was dark complexion, he could not lift the basket. So I went and then lifted the basket for him and put it on the floor. And surprisingly, at that time I saw his turban on which he kept the basket fell down from his head. I say, okay, one boy was dark complexion, another boy was fair complexion. Okay, and then did you notice any other thing? And I said, wait. Now I remember the dark complexion boy, when the turban fell down, I saw a big line of wound on his forehead, a big line. And from that line of wound, there's drops of red blood coming out. They are just lying there. So immediately I took a cloth, a wet cloth, and wiped that red, and then tied that turban tightly. And then both of them went away after talking to me. Then the Panditji started thinking, who could these two boys be? Because he could clearly understand it is the play of the Lord Sri Krishna. The fairer complexion boy must be his brother, elder brother Balaram. And the darker complexion boy was none other than Lord Sri Krishna himself. Then he started weeping. Oh Lord, without knowing your power, without knowing your capacity, I just struck off the line that you have lied to the devotees. Yogatshemam vahamyaham, you said, but it is not so. You have definitely taken care of the devotees. I am very happy, O Lord, that you have proved your words, and for this devotee's sake, you rather brought these two baskets and holding it on your head, and you brought it here. Oh, what a wonderful thing, and how ungrateful I was to you. Then, after weeping, the Panditji became more devoted to Lord Krishna. You see, the word Vahami is a very important word. You know, it comes from the Sanskrit. You know, every word in Sanskrit has got a root word. So the root word is Vah Dhatu, as we call it. So Vah means to carry. So you find this from that root, many types of words have come, which indicate the carrying. The carrying meaning comes by different words. For instance, you know the word Vahan. Vahan means vehicle. We call it in English, we say vehicle. What that Vahan does, Vahan carries people and objects. So you can see the market, carriers are there. They are called carriers. So that van carries bundles of vegetables, bundles of so many things it carries. So it's called Vahan. And that which carries so many items, that vehicle is called Vahan. And you have heard another beautiful word. It's called, several words, as I told you, from the Vah Dhatu, several words have come. So Vahami means I carry. What I carry? I carry the burden of you. If you are a devotee, you have lots of burdens on your shoulder. All those burdens I carry. It's the beauty of this word Vahami. So the devotee understands. So what is the condition the Lord gives us? He simply tells us, Ananyas Chintayanto Mam. Ye Janaha Pariyupasate. It's not simply upasate, one who worships me. Pariyupasate. Pari plus upasate is pariyupasate. Pariyupasate means that you worship me with all your heart, all your mind. Not haphazardly, not half-mindedly, with your full mind. You make upasana of me and thinking of me all the time. No time you leave me. All the time if you think of me, then I will take care of you by carrying your burden. Whatever be your burden, I will carry it for you. Yoga kshemam vahamyagam. Whatever you have not got in your life, that you feel that you did not get so many things, so you are very unhappy with your life, I will provide those things. And whatever you have got, those things will be protected by me. Kshemam. Kshemam means protection. So, happily protection. So, these words he has used, very, very choice words by the Lord. Because Lord himself says in Gita that these words. So, we must have, while reading these words, we must believe that Lord is definitely with us. Sri Ramakrishna's life is a very good example of how he believed in Mother Kali. You know, his Ishta Devata was Mother Kali. Though Sri Ramakrishna was born in a Vaishnava Ramayat family. His father was a great devotee of Rama, and they have a Rama's vigrahas were there in their homes, and they used to worship. So to that family he was born. But then he went to Dakshineswar temple, where Mother Kali was the abiding deity there. So as a pujari he joined there, and while doing puja he started questioning the existence of Mother Kali. So he started asking her, "Oh Mother Kali, do you really exist? What I am doing puja etc. to you, are you really accepting it? Are you there?" This question started coming to him again and again, and by asking this question again and again, he started thinking of Mother Kali all the time. So now there was a time when Mother Kali decided to remove his doubts. So she gave him that wonderful experience of Jyoti Darshan, the first samadhi that he had with Mother Kali. And then, of course, this Mother Kali came to him in her Saguna Rupam, as we call it. Saguna, that means with features, with traits, with all the qualities. She came, and with a Rupa also. She took that form of Mother Kali, and as Bhavatarini, she is called in Dakshineswar, she used to come before him in Bhavatarini Rupam, as he finds in that big idol, big image was there, to which he was doing worship. She has come out from the idol as if, and then started talking to him. And Sri Ramakrishna used to hold her hands and go up and down in the Dakshineswar, that flight of stairs. You must have gone to Dakshineswar Kali temple, and there you would see, before the temple, there is a flight of stairs are there. So you go up and down. He used to hold her hand and then sing songs and then dance also. And such was the wonderful experience of Sri Ramakrishna. In the modern days, he has proved, yes, God can be seen. And before that, he has proved that God is there. So if anybody says God is not there, you should not believe that. Because Sri Ramakrishna like person, who was there very nearer to our times, he has proved that God is there and God is visible to your eyes. He can come before you only when you have Ananya Chinta you do, without any obstruction, without any stoppage. If you do continuous thinking of God, then God is definitely will appear before you. And we find many, many saints in this country itself. I am so happy to visit Karnataka. In Karnataka, only from Mangaluru, very near to a place is called Udupi. You all must have heard the famous place Udupi. It is a Krishna Kshetra, as they call it. Krishna, Lord Krishna resides there. And one devotee came before Sri Krishna. In those days, some of the temples, I should say, or most of the temples, were forbidden for certain castes. Some people were born in a lowest caste. They were not allowed inside the temple. Nowadays, of course, in India, it's a democratic country. You don't find such discrepancies in society. But in those days, one Kanakadasa came. Kanakadasa, when he came, and because he belonged to a lower caste, he was not allowed inside. So, Kanakadasa was kept outside the temple. So, he went to the rear portion of the Lord's Garbhagriha. Lord is facing this side. When you enter, Lord faces you in the temple. But then, behind his back, there was a window is there. Behind that window, he sat on the road. And then, whole night, he used to pray to Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna, I am not allowed to go inside your temple. I am not allowed to have a darshan of your beautiful murti. Now, I am so sad, and please show me. Like that, Ananyasity he did, sitting on the road. People were coming and going on the road. All the passersby used to see he's crying and he's shedding tears, copious tears. And you'll be surprised to know the Lord Sri Krishna's Vigraha, that is the image of Lord Vigraha, turned back. And through the window, Lord gave him darshan. You see, even today, when you go to Udupi, you will see Lord Sri Krishna's back only you will see when you enter. When you go and then behind him, then in that place he is visible. So you can see that how Lord is so wonderful. We find like this many instances in many of the saints' lives. In Tamilnadu, there was one saint, Kannappa Nayanar. Kannappa Nayanar used to come to Shiva temple. He was a great devotee of Lord Shiva, and he would sit there. And there's a big Nandi was there. And the Nandi also is made of stone, and Lord Shiva's also is made of, the linga was also made of stone. He used to come and stand there outside because he was the lower caste, so he could not enter. He was like us, Kanakadasa, and he was standing outside. The Nandi was obstructing him. So he prayed to that Nandi, and Nandi gave way so that he could see Lord Shiva's Shivalinga very clearly. Such hundreds of stories are there. They are not mere stories, they are really happened instances in the lives of our devotees. They all were devotees. And when a devotee becomes saint, when he has Sakshatkara of the Lord. When the Lord comes to the person and appears before him, and he is able to talk to him, he is able to see him, then he becomes a saint. So till that time, the belief in God, we are all devotees only. So many hundreds and millions of people pass their life as devotees. They have little faith. Some people have little more faith. Some people have very good faith. And some people, they have 100% faith and they have Sakshatkara of the Lord. At that time, they are called saints. Like that, in Thiruvarur, one saint was living in Tamilnadu. His name was Tyagaraja. Tyagaraja's songs are even now sung by the Carnatic musicians. Everywhere you'll find they are written in Telugu. He was a great devotee of Lord Sri Ram. And Sri Ram could come before him. He could talk to him. He could tell him, hey Rama, I am feeling like this. I am having this difficulty. What can you do? All in songs. And then Sri Rama would do everything for him. So he used to carry whatever he needed and he used to protect whatever he had. Such a wonderful play of Lord in this world for us. I can go on quoting you saints' life, so many lives, but that is not going to help us anyway. We hear the stories and keep in mind, but are you taking the step of thinking God all the time? Now our devotees will ask the question, Swamiji, you say we have to think of God all the time. Is it possible to think God all the time? Do we not have our worldly duties? We have families, we have wife and children, we have to protect them, provide them, and I had to go to office, and meet with many people, and so many customers I need to meet, and I have to travel all the time. With all these multifarious activities I am engaged in, is it possible to think of God all the time? The question is very, very genuine, I should say. Yes, it is not possible to think of God all the time. But then you don't want to become saint tomorrow, is it not? So you don't need to think of God all the time. But is it possible for you to think God sometime during the whole day? Can you think of Him at least 3 times in a day? Morning, early morning when you get up, then noon time, and then the evening time, or in the night time. Can you allot 5-10 minutes for thinking of God in your life? If you are so busy, I say that if you are so busy, can you allot 10 minutes? Like in your duties, you have allotted time. From this time to this time, I am to do this work. Like that, you have a calendar of activities. Like that, thinking of God, 10 minutes. Can you put it after the lunch, 2 to 2:10? I will think of God. I will do japa. Like that, can you make it? Yes, it is possible. You cannot say me that it is not possible. Yes, it is definitely possible. And a few times in a day. Likewise, if you start practicing now, you should start the practice now. And with this practice, slowly, you will find the Lord will remove the obstructions for thinking of Him. There are obstructions due to our own karmic effects. Our obstructions are karmic, or due to our association with others, their karmic effects we are taking. So, in the result, what happens? The Lord gets, oh, this devotee wants to think of me, and he has got certain obstructions at this time. So let me remove that obstruction. Likewise, you will be finding in your life that obstructions are slowly removed. Many people come to me and then I say, Swamiji, we had Diksha on that day, and after having Diksha, after having started telling the mantra given by our Guru, I find there is a change in my behavior. There is a change in my environment. There is a change in the behavior of the people around me. Like that, they are surprised. I said, don't get surprised. All these things were obstacles for your thinking of God, and now after taking Diksha, you have started remembering Him and repeating the mantra all the time while sitting in the bus, while walking, while keeping quiet. All those times you have been thinking. So the Lord takes a wonderful grace on you. And how does He put His grace? He works His grace by removing the obstacles in your life. Likewise, obstacles will be removed. We find in the life of Sri Ramakrishna how many devotees used to come to him and tell him, oh Lord, I want to see my Ishta. And they were been blessed. I will tell you one story about a devotee, a lady devotee. Her name was Nisarini Devi. This Nisarini Devi was a very pious lady, and her husband also is very good devotee of Sri Ramakrishna. They used to come all the way from Calcutta to Dakshineswar and bring some food also for Sri Ramakrishna. And they were so fond of Sri Ramakrishna. And many times Sri Ramakrishna had visited their house, and they would stay there, he would come and stay there, and whatever she cooks, she would give. Likewise, this was going on, and she was a great devotee of Sri Lord Ram. And she had a beautiful idol of Sri Ram in her puja room. And one day her husband came and told, look, today I had a very good news. I heard the good news in Dakshineswar. I went to Dakshineswar and met our Lord Sri Ramakrishna. And what did Ramakrishna say to you? The wife asked. He told me the coming Sunday he is coming to our home. What a good news it is. You know, the Lord Himself is coming to our home. What a great blessings that we have. So you make all the arrangements, and you know He doesn't come alone. He will always come with a few people. So we must feed them nicely, all the devotees who come with Him. So make all the arrangements. So Nisarini said, okay, no problem. But then the moment she heard that Lord Bhagavan Ramakrishna is going to visit her home, she started thinking of Lord all the time. And her Ishta Devata was Sri Ramachandra. And she goes to that puja room and she prays so much, shedding tears. Oh Lord Ramachandra, I want to see you. Please show me your rupa, your form, and I want to see you. And this way, she has been praying to Sri Ramakrishna. Oh Lord, you are going to come to our home. You are going to bless us. I want to see Lord Sri Ram. You must help me. Everything was arranged on that particular red letter day came in their life. On that day morning, Sri Ramakrishna entered their home with all the devotees. And the devotees are good singers. They had cymbals to play, and then they had the other instruments they had with them. So with all that, they started singing. So the bhajan started. So whenever any satsang starts, we start with opening bhajans. So Lord was sitting in the chair and the devotees also were seated on the floor, and there was a carpet over that, and then they started singing bhajans. While singing bhajans, Sri Ramakrishna got up from his seat. And according to the tal, according to the beat of the songs, he started putting his steps. It was like a dance. It was such a wonderful, mesmerizing dance of Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna is taking his hands up, down, sideways, and putting his foot, and exactly according to the beat of the song. You can find, and the devotees saw that. They all got up and with their instruments, and they started dancing around Sri Ramakrishna. At that time, one devotee came. He has brought a garland for Sri Ramakrishna. And the garland was extraordinarily long. Means sometimes you put garland on the neck and it comes up to your navel, that's all. More than that it doesn't go. But he brought a very long garland. And he came, and while Sri Ramakrishna was dancing, he put the garland on his shoulder. And the garland was on his body. And it came up to the feet level. Such a huge garland he's putting on. And with that huge garland, Sri Ramakrishna was dancing. Just imagine in your mind, closing, while listening to me, close your eyes and imagine, my dear devotees, you will see Ramakrishna dancing, as I'm explaining to you. His hands are moving, his body is moving, and his face is beaming with a divine smile. And with the smiling face, he is dancing. Everybody is dancing. And in those days, women cannot come to the parlor where the men are sitting. So other outside men were there. So Nisarini was looking from the top. She is looking down and she is seeing Sri Ramakrishna wearing a huge garland, and he was dancing, and all the devotees are going around him dancing. Seeing this, she could control. She is not supposed to come at that place, but she came running through the stairs. There were 2 stairs were there. She came running through that and came before Sri Ramakrishna and fell at his feet. And the men devotees who were dancing, they stopped for a second, because suddenly a lady has entered. So they were also not ready for receiving a lady there. So the lady has come, and the house owner's wife, and she came and fell at his feet and held his feet together tightly and shedding copious tears. She said, "Oh Lord, bless me, I should have darshan of Lord Sri Ram." And then it all happened in a minuscule of a second, because you do not know how much time passed there, as if the time stood still. Nobody could see anything or could say anything. All have become stunned. Sri Ramakrishna was also stopped his dance and he was standing there. And beautifully took his hand and blessed her. She slowly got up. While getting up, she is about to turn. At that time, she was looking at Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna asked her, "Vaicheto?" He asked her, "Was it done? Is it okay?" Like that we ask. And she turned, she put her head down And she said yes, and then she went up. Now, the people around there, they couldn't understand what has happened and what has been done. They do not know. It was only between that devotee and Sri Ramakrishna. So Sri Ramakrishna blessed that lady. Saints have got the capacity to bless you what you want. And that comes through Lord's grace. She had on that day darshan of Sri Ram, her Ishta Devata. That means, you see, we all can have. Not only Nisarini can, if Nisarini can have, then we all can have. Only thing, do we have that one-pointed bhakti towards the Lord as Nisarini had? This is the question we have to ask. There's a beautiful book, you all know that God lived with them, they lived with God, written by Swami Chaitanyaji. 2 books are there. You go and see that they lived with God, that book. It contains so many devotee stories. When you see those stories, you will be surprised. When you read those stories, what you have to ask yourself? You have to ask yourself, when I am going to get that type of attachment to Lord? When I am going to detach myself from this world? These are the questions we have to ponder over. We simply read those books, or we simply know the stories, and some devotees are more well versed in the facts of these stories than of many of the sadhus. That also I have seen. So some people may correct you also. Swamiji, you have done a mistake here, it was not so, it was like this, they would correct. I have seen such type of devotees also. But then reading so nicely, having a remembrance of all the factual facts of the figures, etc., is not enough. Do you ask yourself, can I have that type of bhakti of Girish Ghosh, who was a drunkard and who left his drinking habit itself by coming into association with Sri Ramakrishna? Can I have that type of attachment to Sri Ramakrishna, to my Ishta Devata? We must ask. We do not ask these questions. We read and we are satisfied with the understanding that we attend many Antar Yogas, and most of the centers nowadays having Antar Yoga programs, and we attend that and we sing bhajans there, we meditate and we hear the lectures of the Swamis, and after taking nice prasada we come away. And we proudly say, I have attended 16 Antar Yogas. And how many you have attended? You ask another devotee. And another devotee says, I have attended only 10. Oh, that means you are still to grow. Attend more Antar Yogas. Like that we make fun. It is not to be made fun. These Antar Yogas are very important in our life. That's why I always encourage people to come to Antar Yogas. You know, I come from Yelagiri Hills Center. We have got a Ramakrishna Mutt Center there in Yelagiri Hills. Yelagiri Hills is a part of Tirupattur district of Tamilnadu. It is very near, 3 hours drive from Bangalore. Many people, Bangaloreans, come taking their vehicle on Friday, stay there, stay in the hotels for Saturday, and Sunday they go back. It's a beautiful hilly area. It is not as crowded as like Ooty, etc. It's quite, now it's a beautiful site, and then beautiful weather also. So people come. So there we have got a mutt, and we are doing Antar Yoga for the devotees. If you are more than 6 and less than 12, 20, then you can form a group and you can contact me. I will arrange Antar Yogam for you. But you have to stay outside in a hotel. So, but you, all the time you will be in ashram, you will be fed 4 times, no worry about that. And it is free of cost. Only you have to take the expenses for going there and coming and staying there. That's all. So I request you, all the devotees, make some groups and contact us so that we can arrange Antar Yoga for this. Why this Antar Yogam is very necessary in our life is because this Antar Yogam makes us think that we should turn our mind inside. That is what the topic last Sunday we made. Those who are interested in listening to that, please see that topic. That is our Mangaluru website, you can get it. So you can hear that, turning inside. It helps us to turn our mind inside. From where it is helping us? from outside, because mind is going all the time outside. So it turns inside towards God, because God is within us. So with all these ideas, one must understand that thinking of Lord all the time will make us divine. And once you think of divine yourself, your actions will be all controlled by the divine principles. People who come in the contact with you, they will feel the change. Oh, we are talking to a divine person. That's how the divinity has to be expanded everywhere. So think that you are divine, which Swamiji used to say, each soul is potentially divine. That great mantra Swamiji has given us. Let us think about that. Let us cogitate in our mind. Let us meditate on this great mantra and find out our divinity within ourselves. So with these few words, I take leave of you. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.